With the announcement of the new league here, I bought a supporter pack, the mid-tier one. I didn't feel like spending the $90, and got this awesome looking paladin transmog stuff. I think it looks pretty cool. I was going to put out a showcase, and I've had it filmed for a little bit, so I'm going to release that. But I want to talk a bit about this build first. I was really hoping that potentially this league, that melee would be buffed, and it most definitely is. I have went through Path of Building, updated only the final tree because everything else prior to it used ancestral totems to help with leveling, and that's all gone. So this build is actually still completely functional. Let's take a look here. This is Path of Building, and I have updated the items. This is to reflect a possible endgame character, which this character that I'm currently at is not. It's only 95. My resistances are capped on it, but not the chaos, and it could have a bit more armor. So here's what this looks like. I was able to take off a couple things and add on some items. I added in a second maelstrom pole. I did an armor, glove, amulet, and second ring upgrade. I fixed all the flasks, and I added a couple new jewels in, including a cluster jewel, which I think I have in game as well. Let's check. Maybe I don't. I don't know. No, you see, I don't have that cluster. I don't have the third cluster jewel in game, and that would allow me to respec multiple things. So I don't have that. So I have 3 cluster jewels in place, and technically speaking, if I can get one that functions better, I could. I don't even know if it's possible. Actually, these are pretty nice. Little drive the fuel the fight, feed the fury, and then this is martial prowess, weighted advantage, and feed the fury. And I think this worked out pretty well as a whole. If I go to skills, I removed all the totems. Glacial Hammer, I changed it. I removed the Ice Bite support and a couple other things which are really solid while leveling, but at the end game they do. And because of the update to Glacial Hammer, which is 643% of base, and that's the effective of added damage, I want to scale the base of this as much as possible, which means Awakened Multi-Strike, Ruthlessness, Awakened elemental damage with attacks, and awakened melee physical damage. All are more effective than what was currently in there. And the same thing takes place in terms of Ice Crash, with it being increased critical damage, multi-strike, elemental damage, melee, but instead of Ruthlessness, it has Pulverize. If I go over to items, do a weapon swap here, Ice Crash is sitting at 47 million. And I don't think it's possible to make that more effective. The only thing I could think of possibly, see that's 10 million DPS right there, and that was with Pulverize. Ruthlessness is potentially, or actually Ruthlessness is even more effective. So I guess it's, and they're intimidated, so I might as well leave that in instead. The only other thing that I could think of from there was. Nope. I guess it's Ruthlessness, actually. So we'll put Ruthlessness in play. Okay, there we go. So there's an update that I just found on top of it. So with that added damage, Ice Crash also now intimidates. It doesn't do as much area of effect, though. So I'm not sure. Pulverize might be more efficient. And because 48 million is a lot of damage to, or 46 million is still a lot of damage to be swinging around in terms of melee. And this is just boosting up my, I think I'd probably keep it like this. Increased area effect and more area damage. You could try either one. You know what? We'll go like this. Yeah, that's not what's actually happening. So we'll go like this, and we'll go here, and then I'll turn that one off, and yeah, that way they're both there as an option. Frostblink stayed the same. Molten Shell, cast on damage taken. Assassin's Mark, mark on hit in Assassin's Mark. Blood Rage, Intimidating Cry. And I'm I'm not sure if I need Intimidating Cry. They're intimidated either way. I wonder if it took Intimidated off. I don't know. No, it still says they're intimidated. So Intimidating Cry is actually granting another 2 million DPS on top of stuff. I lost my place. Intimidating Cry. We'll put that back on. Put that at 21. There we go. I don't know why damage went down. That's because there we go. 2120. And then I added Eternal Blessing and Determination support to grant me more armor as I move around. If you would rather have this in place, you could probably come in here and swap this out, and it would grant more DPS though. In fact, let's see. Yeah, removing Hatred is a lot of DPS gone, so we don't want to do that. I want to keep Hatred in place there. In fact, it's 50% of a DPS loss. But yeah, I added in Determination support back into the build, but as so like in tougher situations, you can activate it as a blessing, which I think asks for like 8 seconds, and then it has a couple seconds cooldown. So, but that's pretty solid as a whole. That upped the effective hit pool to approximately 100,000. I wish the physical was a bit more. I'm not sure what I can do about that at the moment. I would, without having to just redo the entire build. What else here? Chaos resistance is now capped. All elemental resistances are capped. And, it's not, why isn't it allocated? And since I had the one down here originally for the totems, I removed that and replaced it with Charisma, which allowed me to allocate, Hatred and Herald of Ice. Yeah, it allowed me to allocate Herald of Ice, which just further enhances the build and the overall damage. So going back to the tree here, I had a point in here that gave 15% more life. That's completely useless because I have life on my armor. So I moved into here, so all ruthless hits intimidated enemies, so all enemies are intimidated. This also, one of the nice things about this buff, since the totems don't have to be laid down and active, I can then just go ahead and forget about them. I don't need to worry about it. It makes it easier and allows me to focus more on the melee part of the build. The only other thing I could think of doing, which I do not have in here right now, is I do not have a banner. I could put a banner in here. I don't know where I'd put it at the moment because everything is completely full. I guess if I, you know what? I guess if I don't need Intimidating Cry, right? Let's see. I don't know what the banners do. Okay, let's go like that. And then let's go to configuration. It's banner planted. So that does absolutely nothing for me. Defiance banner. War banner. Is banner planted. That's more effective than Intimidating Cry, actually. So War Banner is better than Intimidating Cry, and then you still carry it around too. So we'll probably do that instead. Yeah, actually, that's much better. I'd rather have this. So I'd rather have War Banner equipped. So we're going to equip War Banner instead, buff that up to 21. I don't think that did anything. So there's another change. We're going to remove Intimidating Cry since I have, since I am able to put in, there we go, Ruthless support. Oh, that's even better. So we'll put in Ruthless support, meaning they're intimidated with both skills. And with that active, that ups the DPS to 51 million for Ice Crash at the full build. And then if I go back to skill tree and go to Glacial Hammer, we're at 68, almost 70 million DPS with Glacial Hammer. That is a significant boost in damage compared to where this was. Prior to the patch coming out, I think I had the build sitting around 40 million and 29 million, I think, for Ice Crash. Ice Crash was like 29 million, and Glacial Hammer was like 37 million, something like that. But with the patch, they are doing significantly more damage. I bet that I could get these to scale more on a melee-based character now, but this is what I had done, and this ignores elemental resistance, so I thought that was pretty cool. But this is the final update, and then after this I will show, or coming up here in a moment, there's the showcase that's for the build as it currently stands. As the build stands, not the one that you see on the screen right now. This is a fully completed one. This one would be capable of doing bosses. The one that I currently have is not capable of doing most bosses, just simply because everything wasn't finished on the character. The life pool wasn't there, the chaos resistance wasn't capped as a result, and neither was and the damage wasn't quite high enough yet, and as a result it wasn't good enough yet to do bosses. With this melee buff, this should be good enough now. I'm not sure what leveling tech I'm going to use. I have a feeling that it's going to be a brand, and then I'll use a brand with whatever the one. I think there's a Frost brand or Wintertide. I think it'd end up being Wintertide brand with Glacial Hammer, and then eventually Ice Crash. And I think that should help. I think that might be able to do it. But with the overall buff, it should be much more effective in terms of the overall clear anyways, just with the melee skill. So hopefully it's not even needed. Here is the showcase. And after that, that'll be it for the video. This is just the informational part. And thanks for watching. So this is my last video for the league here, and I wanted to show, a couple people asked for just to see what this looks like at the end. So this is a T16 map. This character, I tried it in bosses, is definitely, I was hoping it would be capable, but without finishing off my resistances, updating my body armor to have some more life, to be able to take a bit more damage, finishing my chaos resistance, and finishing these two items. It's rather difficult. This is the mapping I was running earlier on my other completed character, so we're going to go ahead and go like this. Blessed orbs are fine. We'll just go like that. I don't care about elemental resistance really, so what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. And I'm just using stuff up, so why not? You can drop some scarabs. Alright, so this is just a cemetery. It's T16. It's 70-some percent. 117.69 before anything. And this is just what this looks like mapping, which it does fine with. Nice. Oh, and a Diviner's Strongbox.
I must have time to gather my will.
That was a lot of stuff from one box. As you can see, this character is much slower at the same thing my other character was doing. It's not to say it doesn't work, it's just slower, and that's fine. I built this character as I wanted to try something different. I had fun making it, and that's all that I really care about in the end. It was really nice to level with, and it just with the work, I'll show you. Where's the other enemy at? The patient. Nice. Something's out to get me. What is this thing? I don't know, but it exploded. Oh, nice. I don't remember if I don't know if I remember to put altars on. I'd been doing them, so I... I wonder if I can't detonate corpses nearby because I shatter them so they don't exist. Interesting. Because there was no corpse explosion from that. The teleport in and then slam is very effective. I love jumping into those freezes. Oh, I might die right here. We'll see. Alright, I got the altar down. Oh, it's following me in death. Oh no. It's kind of terrifying. Alright, let's go up here. Kill off the boss, see if there's any... Oh, there's one left. Looks like we can go after the boss here. We'll switch to Glacial Hammer. Oh, that's why. It's witnessed by the Maven. There we go. Activate my other staff. Well, that was witnessed by the Maven, and it stood absolutely no chance, so... It's unfortunate because I prefer the altars, but some of them I can't do on this character. Uses charges, so all the charges, anything that lowers defense, which is unfortunately basically everything. Alright, let's see here.
This way, exile.
I think I go blue. I'm up here. Guess I'm gonna do yellow. Drop down a totem. Anything? Oh, this one upgraded. That ability to freeze is so nice. Alright, that is... My cat is screeching. That was about 9 minutes. Nothing fast. It's not a zoomy character, if that wasn't obvious leveling.